Brady, but that's Mom's cherry turnover!
Yes, but who bought it?
It's Mom's! She's gonna kill you! My mom is going to kill her because that is her cherry turnover. Hey guys, it's Denise, and today I'm going to be reviewing The Maze Runner by James Dashner. So I read this book in December after Christmas because I got it for Christmas, and I don't really remember it that much because it's like mid-February, but I really wanted to review it because I really liked it a lot. Like, I'm still in the series. I'm on book 4 right now. It's not really book 4, it's a prequel to the whole series, so I know what happens in the end and stuff like that. So I'm going to try to make this as spoiler-free as possible. So the book starts out with Thomas, and he's 16, he's in this elevator, and he has no idea where he is. He doesn't remember anything about his life. It's basically like the past 16 years of his life swiped away from him. Swipe being the operative word, because if you read this book and the books after it, you know that the word swipe has a significant meaning. But I'm not going to tell you that because that'd be spoiling. But his memory has been swiped, and he has no idea where he is, and he lands up in this field filled with 50 other boys his age, 12 to 18, and they're surrounded by this giant wall that's surrounded by an even bigger maze, and they have to live in this field. They have to make their own jobs. They get food from this elevator, from this unknown source. They have no idea who's giving them this food, who's giving them weapons, who's giving them plants, and they all live there. They have their own jobs. They have people who cook. They have people who build. They have people who clean. I mean, I don't think there's any cleaners. And they have leaders and stuff like that. So once you figure out the basics of where they live and the world they live in, you're in the mindset of Thomas, and he really wants to become a runner. Like, he wants to be a part. I'm out of breath because I just switched my load downstairs and I had to run up and down the stairs, and I'm a little winded. So they all have their own jobs, and there's this group of boys called the runners, and they have the job of running around the maze, and they have all day to do it, but at night the doors shut. During the nighttime, these creatures come out. They're called grievers. I pictured them as like these giant like slug, seahorsey, whale things, but in the movie they look like giant spiders. I was kind of iffy about the way they looked in the movie because that's not how I pictured them. I mean, it's not going to be exactly how I pictured it, but I mean, I pictured them to be a little more scary because this book kind of gave me didn't give me nightmares, but I used to think about it a lot. These grievers can sting you, and they can make you like remember certain things. Like when you get stung, you remember little bits and pieces. So it's even more confusing because you don't know what these little bits and pieces mean. But you can get stung, you can get eaten, you can get you can get eaten by these giant spider things, and it's really scary. And it makes the book more sci-fi and more robotic because these things are basically cyborgs. But Thomas wants to be a runner even though he knows that there are these crazy grievers out. And he strives to become a runner, and he meets Minnow and Newt and Albie. Minnow is the Minnow is the head maze runner, and Albie is the oldest of everybody, and Newt is just like my favorite character of this whole entire book. But you follow Thomas, and he wants to become a runner, and he enters the maze without being told to because they have these rules. There are only 3 rules. You can't go into the maze, you can't harm anybody else, and you have to do your job. You can't just sleep all day. Like, you have to do your share. You have to contribute to the community, because if you don't, then what's the point of being there? You should just like go into the maze and die. But they want it to be a community. They want everything to work. And it's really awesome because you wouldn't think that boys would know what to do. I mean, boys or girls. If you put a bunch of teenage girls and boys together, they're not going to be totally civilized. Like, if you read Lord of the Flies, you know that they're just going to contradict the whole time. And there's not going to be a winner or a loser. There's just going to be chaos. And I love that James Dashner made these boys intelligent. They have to be intelligent for a reason if you decide to pick up the other novels, but they're smart and they know what they're doing, which is awesome because it makes you feel like more mature reading this because there are mature people in this book. So this book was overall really good. I really enjoyed it. I loved their dialogue. Shank, shuck, clunk. I loved it. It seemed natural, and it made the whole book PG, because any 12 to 80 could read this book, like maybe even 10. Like, anybody could enjoy this book because there are elements that anybody would love. Like, I'm a girl and I like this book. Boys will like this book. Anybody can like this book. And I love how there were no curse words. There was no explicitness. Like, there ends up being a girl in this book, but there's no kissing. There's no, it's really like beyond. Like, it's not immature. It's very mature, and it's just so good. I mean, this book is just like, I love it. I completely recommend it to anybody. There are negatives to it. It's kind of slow paced, but once it picks up, it picks up, and it's well worth the multi-day read. I could easily read this book over a week and I would love it, like if I read a couple of chapters a day. And the chapters are really short. James Dashner changes his thoughts really quickly, and I love that because in real life you don't think about what color your pillow is for 5 years. You just don't, and it follows the regular mind. You don't think about something for 20 pages. You think about something for maybe 2, and the chapters are short, which makes it easier to like put it down and pick it back up again. Like I could start a chapter, my mom will tell me to do something, and I can finish it, go do it, and then come back and be like at the same place. I mean, maybe that's weird, maybe you don't do that, but I love being able to put it down without losing my train of thought. I thought that was a really good quality about it. There aren't really any negatives. I mean, it was kind of slow. Maybe some people won't like this story, but I thought the story was really like well written. And that concludes the Maze Runner review. This is my first review. I'm sorry if it's like choppy. I don't really know what to put in a review. I know that you have to put your opinion on what the story was about, but if you have any advice on future reviews, comment below. I'll have new videos up every week because I can only film on the weekends because I need daylight, because I don't have like professional lights or anything. I need light, and after school I have to do homework and things like that. But thank you guys for your positive response to my video last week, and I will see you next week. Okay, bye!